Good afternoon.
What if I told you that 12 people meeting in secret 8 times a year controls the financial fate of every single person on earth?
In this country, the stock market went up.
The outlook for employment and inflation has not changed.
We knew it would be a long road back to recovery.
The Federal Open Market Committee, most people have never heard of them, but every single one of us lives inside the consequences of their decisions. 8 times a year, they sit down in Washington, D.C. They review the entire global economy and then they vote on a single number. And that number determines the interest rate on your home loan, your business loan, your saving account, and the value of your country's currency. In 2022, this committee raised their number 12 times, from 0.25% to 5.5% in 16 months. The result? The British pound hits its lowest level since 1985. The Japanese yen collapsed to 32-year low, and the Indian rupee fell 10% in a single year, and Sri Lanka defaulted on its national debt entirely. None of those countries voted for this. None of them had any say. The Federal Open Market Committee made a decision about the American economy and the rest of the world paid for it. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how this works, what the federal fund rate actually is, who the 12 people are who vote on it, and why every central bank on earth, including the Reserve Bank of India, has to respond every time America moves. And more importantly, what happened in 2022 that proved this committee has more financial power than any government on earth. Now let's start with the number itself. The federal fund rate. 3 words that appear in every financial news headline. 3 words that move stock markets, crash currencies, and determine whether your home loan gets cheaper or more expensive this year. And most people have absolutely no idea what they actually mean. Every single night, banks in America needs to balance their books. Some banks end the day with more cash than they need. Some end the day short. So they lend to each other overnight to even things out. The federal fund rate is the interest rate those banks charge each other for those overnight loans. Now you might be thinking that sounds like a very small, very internal banking process. So why does it matter to anyone outside the Wall Street? And it does matter because the federal fund rate is not just one interest rate. It is the interest rate from which every other interest rate in the entire economy is calculated. It is the foundation of the entire financial system. Think of it like this. The Fed fund rate is the leveler and the entire economy is the machine connected to it. So when the Fed pulls the lever up, it raises the rate, borrowing becomes expensive for everyone, banks, businesses, home buyers and government. The entire economy slows down, spending falls and inflation cools. And when the Fed pushes the lever down, it cuts the rate, borrowing becomes cheaper, credit flows easily, businesses invest, people spend, and the economy ultimately heats up. And that is the entire mechanism of monetary policy in two directions, and the Federal Reserve controls that lever completely. So the main question is, who actually pulls that lever? The answer is a committee. 12 people meeting 8 times a year in a room in Washington, D.C. The committee is called Federal Open Market Committee, the FOMC. And every 6 to 8 weeks, they sit down and make a decision that moves financial market on every continent. The FOMC has 12 voting members. 7 are from the Board of Governors, the government appointed officials who sit in Washington, and the other 5 are the Federal Reserve Bank presidents, rotating from among the 12 regional banks across the country. And the New York Fed president always votes because New York is the beating heart of American finance. Now these 12 people spend 2 full days together before every note. They receive hundreds of pages of economic data. They hear presentations from Fed economists on employment, inflation and consumer spending, housing stats, global trade flows. they debate, they push back on each other, they disagree, and then they vote. The decision is released at exactly 2 p.m. Washington time on the second day, and at that precise moment, trading algorithms on every major stock exchange in the world fire simultaneously. Currency pair move, bond yield shift, trillion-dollar portfolios are rebalanced. All because 12 people in one room voted. Then 30 minutes later, the chair of the Federal Reserve walks out and holds a press conference. And this press conference is one of the most watched events in global finance. Every word is analyzed, every pause is interrupted, every hedge praise is run through models by hundreds of trading desks looking for signals about what comes next. Now, here's the thing that makes the Fed's job genuinely difficult. So, Congress gave the Federal Reserve two goals, two mandates, and these two mandates are at permanent tension with each other. They call it the dual mandate, and here is why they conflict. So, when the economy is going strongly, people are working, wages are rising, spending is up. That sounds like a good news, and it is. But when more money is chasing the same amount of goods and services, prices go up, inflation rises, the economy overheats. So, a strong growing economy with low unemployment naturally produces higher inflation, which the Fed has to control by raising rates. But here is the other side. When the Fed raises the interest rate to control inflation, borrowing becomes expensive. So businesses cut their investment, hiring goes slow, some companies start laying off workers, and unemployment rises and growth stalls. So the medicine for inflation, higher rates, causes unemployment, and the medicine for unemployment, that is lower rates, risk more inflation. Now this is the core paradox. The single most important concept in every single FOMC meeting is a judgment call between these two forces. Too aggressive rising rates, you crush the economy into recession. Billions of people lose jobs, businesses failed for a recession that could have been avoided. And not aggressive enough, inflation becomes entrenched. Prices keep rising. The purchase power of every rupee, every dollar, every pound, every wallet on earth slowly erodes until people cannot afford basic necessities. Now, the Fed does not have a formula for this. There is no algorithm. It only have 12 humans looking at the same data, making a judgment, and they get it wrong regularly. And when the Fed gets it wrong, the consequences do not stay inside America's border, they spread everywhere immediately. Which brings us to the most important question in this entire video. Now, before we get to the global picture, let us make this personal, because the federal fund rate is not an abstraction. It changes the actual numbers in your actual life. Let's start with home loans. When the Fed raises its rates, banks everywhere increases their lending rates immediately. A single 1% increase on 50 lakh rupees home loan adds over 40,000 rupees to your actual repayment cost. That is the money coming out of your family's budget every single month. And it does not even feel like American monetary policy, but that is exactly what it is. Now multiply that logic into a business. When the rates rises, businesses' loan becomes expensive. So the companies that were planning to expand, hire new staff, open new location, build new factories, find those plans no longer make financial sense. So they pause or cancel. And those are the real jobs that never get created, real salaries that never get paid, real economic activities that simply does not happen. And small businesses feel this first and hardest. Now imagine a shop owner in Mumbai taking a business loan at 8% and suddenly finds the same loan costing 10%. That 2% difference can be margin between profit and loss. And then there is stock market. When the interest rate rise, government bonds start offering better returns. Investors who were putting money into stocks because there was nowhere else to earn a decent return suddenly have an alternative. Money flows out of equities and into bonds. Stock market falls. Your mutual fund SIPs loses their value. And this is why Sensex and Nifty react within minutes to every Fed announcement. every fund manager and trader on the Wall Street is watching Washington at 2 a.m. because that is when the most important financial decision in the world gets made. And there is one channel that actually works in your favor when rates rise. Your saving account, fixed deposits. When the Fed raises rates and the RBI borrows, as it almost always does, banks can afford to offer higher interest on deposits. Your money parked in a fixed deposit actually starts earning something real.